Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to share my very first video with you all. I'll be showing you how I achieved this flawless skin work on my stunning dark skin model. So whether you're a newbie or a pro looking for tips, I've got you covered. Let's dive in. I first started by hydrating my model's face with a hydrating mist. So she told me she had dry skin, so I ensured to use all hydrating and moisturizing products for her skin prep. The hydrating mist I used was from Botanics and it's called their Revitalising mist. So I used that to hydrate her face, then dried it down with a fan. Then I went in with a hydrating serum from Clinique called their Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. I'll be putting all the products I used in the description box, so do not worry in case you don't understand my pronunciation or if I'm speaking too fast. It's my first video, so bear with me. Then I went in with the Advanced Snail 92 all-in-one cream. I love this moisturizer. I use it for both dry and oily skin clients or my models, and it really does the job. I then used the e.l.f. I think Hydro Grip Primer. Although I didn't record this, I will just confirm the exact name of that primer, but it was really good. And next thing was my foundation, which I used the Huda Beauty Easy Bake foundation. I really love this foundation. It's so good. It is full coverage yet so light. It just gives the skin that healthy glow from within. It basically looks like you don't even have foundation, as you can see. So flawless. I then went with my Made by Mitchell curve case in dark. I love this palette. I use it for everything, as you will see in this video. So I'm just contouring her face, so her cheekbones, her forehead. I made use of the darkest shade to just bring back depth into her face and blend. To get flawless skin work, you have to blend till your arms ache, and that's what I'm doing. The next thing I did was apply cream blush, also from the Made by Mitchell curve case. I made use of two shades. I think one was more in the orangey side and one was more in the pink side. So I mixed these two blush and I just applied it above where I place her contour, and I'm again blending with my sponge till I see that it's well blended, and then I move into highlighter. So for highlighting under her eyes, I made use of the Born This Way concealer. I think in chai. I would confirm. I always mix it with foundation just because I don't want it to be too bright, especially when working with dark skinned people. You don't want your highlighters to be too bright. It's easier to add brightness than to take away brightness. I'm placing the concealer in the areas where I want to highlight, so her T-zone, underneath her eyes, her chin, just on the top of her lips, and I made use of a flat brush as it helps me spread my concealer evenly on her face. Now I am blending again with my beauty sponge, and I really have found concealer application and blending easy to do with a sponge, but I know people use brushes too, so make use of whatever works best for you. I just really love a sponge, and again I am taking my time to blend underneath her eyes, going in several times just to ensure that the concealer blends in smoothly and there are no harsh lines or patches underneath her eyes. And the next thing I did was add more concealer because I wanted to give that flawless filtered look for the underneath her eyes, so I added more concealer, and I'm just taking my time again to blend just before I set underneath the eye. So before I go into set with powder, I go in again with my sponge and blend till everything's looking smooth. So I'm making use of the Sleek setting powder, and I really love this setting powder. It's so different from other setting powders I have used and I love to use. It's quite full coverage for a loose setting powder. That's something I found, and I feel like it just helps cover any imperfection or even areas where my concealer didn't take as much as I wanted to. So I'm just using it to set the underneath of her eyes, and I basically used it for every area that I used the concealer on. So I am setting her forehead now using my powder puff. Again, another product, or would I say makeup tool that I love to use when setting the face. So I am going into her nose, her forehead, and basically every area that I used the concealer on, and you can see her face already looking so flawless. Her skin was looking like butter, and I couldn't just stop saying that, really. So I'm going again with the setting powder. I did that like twice or 3 times just to ensure that I've covered every area. Now I am setting the rest of her face with a compact powder using my powder palette from Vvici, a Nigerian brand. I love this powder palette. I got it when I went back home last year, and I have been using it especially for my dark skin clients. I love the shade range in that palette. At this point, I could already tell that this makeup was going to be the bomb. Her skin was looking like butter. Anyways, I dived in to set her contour using the Morphe face palette in that Rich. I think that's the darkest shade in that range. So I am setting her contour with the powder contour from that palette, and I'm just again going into the areas that I have used the cream contour, dabbing in, pressing in the powder with the brush. Then I went in with the blush, which is one of my favorite parts in makeup. I love to apply cream or powder blush. I am using Brandi Vvici. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I would have the name in my description box. I am just blending in that powder blush. I'm making use of the brush I used for contour. And next thing I did was set everything in with a setting spray, just to make sure that I'm melting all the powder products into her skin. Then I went in with the same setting powder I used to set her concealer. I'm using it now to bake. So I'm baking underneath her eyes, her nose, her mouth, and just giving the face some structure. I would also highlight just underneath where I contoured. I love to do this sometimes, not every time, but I wanted to do this time around because I really wanted to give her face some definition. So I wasn't using anything too bright for that area. And you can also dust it off immediately as you do, or highlight that area in case you don't want it to come out too bright. So now I'm using the MILANI compact powder to just go underneath her eyes. I love to do this after I've done all the skin work, set the face. I believe it gives the underneath of the eyes this airbrushed look. So I am going in, pushing in that compact powder into the underneath of her eyes and every other area that I want to give that airbrush effect to, and trust me, this is a game changer. So the next thing I did was her lips. Again, I used the Made by Mitchell curve case to highlight her lips, give it some definition. Then I went in with a dark pencil, which you can see now, to add more definition to her lips because I wanted it to be really dark. And the curve case concealer or contour, cream contour, really did a good job, but I just wanted that extra. And now I am going in again with my Made by Mitchell curve case, using one of the cream blushes as a lipstick for her, just using it in the center part of her lips. And now I am adding lip gloss. I just used clear lip gloss in this instance, and I'm just using it all over her lips and just adding that extra to the look. I really love how lip gloss elevates the looks. This is the final look. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping more videos, and for now I'll be dropping the videos every Wednesday. Let me know what you would like to see. If you have any questions, and I'll be happy to help and answer your questions. Thank you. Bye.